Hey, hi. Good morning, everyone. Can you hear my voice? Just drop a message in chat box. Can you hear my voice? Okay. So today we will discuss about HTML5, right? HTML5. What is HTML5 is it is an open source markup language. It is used to build modern websites. Okay. It is an open source markup language. Used to build a modern websites. It is a combination of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay. Here HTML5 he introduced in some features. Here is semantic tags and semantic tags. What is semantic tags means? There are better structure using the semantic tags. Use it for better structure of your web page. It tells something about the content to the developer by saying, okay, here see semantic tags and non-semantic tags. Semantic tags and non-semantic tags mean here semantic tags mean it tells something. The semantic elements are clearly describe the meaning of the particular element, like user and machine can readable way. Okay, here semantic elements are header. See, this is the header element, and some semantic elements are nav and article and section. These are open tag and closing tag. Here explain where it is used. And aside and footer. Here main content. Figure and figure caption. Okay, and some input elements are there. Input tags introduced in some type attributes. attributes, some basic type equal to test you have to write, right? Here email, search. At the time you have discussed, first of all you have to just the head and nav article section. Here non-semantic, so non-semantic tags means h1 div para. Okay, this non-semantic tags means this is not tell something about the content, right? We have to design a web page. Okay, how to design? See, how to design a one web page. This is the browser, right? In this browser, the web page you have to develop. Okay, this is your web page, plain web page. In this web page, you have to design. Okay, how it is designed? First, you have to header, you have to place it, right? And second thing, and inside header, you have to navigation links also. You have to design. Second one, what? Navigation links. Okay. Third one is what? Here some navigation links. Also write it inside the. This is the body of the main content. This is on the aside. Okay. This is the footer section, right? You have to design of this web page. Okay, using the tags here. In this first one, you have to write header content, right? Using h1 tag, you have to write it. You have to header of this page, right? This not tells something about your content. Okay. Now you can use header tag. Okay, the browser and the user and browser can readable way, right? Okay. Here in the header section, you have to create a header. Okay. This type of header element, you have to design it. Okay, header element. And using this navigation links, see, here you have to write a placed a header element. Clearly, wait. Header. Okay. Header section. You have to using this tag, you have to write a header introduction of the represent the header section, right, of a web page or section. Okay, this is you have to use in this navigation bar. In this navigation, you have to one page to another page, you have to navigate it, right, using nav tags. Okay, nav inside you have to place a anchor links. Okay, this is the main, it has a body, right? You have to main section, you have to write it. Okay, whatever the content it is. It is in a aside. Aside section is what? You have to articles, write in news article advertisements, you have to write in the asset section, right? Here also you have to write a navigation sections. Here you have to write a navigation. Here also you have to navigate, right? Here else footer section. Okay. These elements tells something. These elements are tell something about the content, right? This is a header section. You have to write a header. This is a navigation links. You have to write. This is the main body. You have to write asset section, footer section. This type of elements it tells something about the content, right? The user and the machine can readable way, right? The perfect way. Okay. Understand? You have to write some examples how to create one. one page you have to create. Okay, wait. Here header section, what you write? Represent for the header section of your web page. In the navigation tag, you have to use what you write in the navigation element. Define a set of navigation links. Okay. Here article section where to use. And the articles you have to write in this element represent the independent of piece of a content. It is used for the news articles. You have to write it in this articles. It is an independent. Okay. Represent an independent piece of a content. Can use the news articles like you have to learning. Okay. The section tag what to use, you know. In the section. In the section element, what you are write in the section element, it is also in a the section content is a group related content and content, which means you have to the web page you have to slightly split in the sections like in this browser, right? Some header and paragraph you have to write. Footer section, what you write? Footer is a web page, right? Represent the footer of a web page of a section. It is contain metadata, links or copyright information you have to write in the footer section. Okay. What you write in the main tag? Content of your body. Okay. The content of body in the write in the main section. Okay. Whatever write in the body, same like a main tag also you have to write it. Okay. Here figure and figure caption. You have to print it the display in the images, right? It is also the figure tag is used to images and diagrams. You have to print it. In the figure, you have to image, you have to print it in the browser, right? You have to, in the figure caption that tells something about the figure. Okay, that image. Okay. And some input text you have to introduce. You have to create a small application. HTML file title HTML5. It is which is visible in the browser tab, right? In this title. Now we have to write a, we have to write before H1, right? Before web page. It is a not tell something about the content, right? It is an H1 is a, it is in a tag. This heading part you have to write it. Some bold content you have to display in the browser, right? It is not tell something about this content, right? This is a header, this is a footer. See, directly you have to print it. Now here in this header, in this page, in this H1 element, you have to write in the header section. Okay. Header. Okay. It is in a display in the browser. H1 is a block level element, right? You can perform, but you have to, in this part, you have to write in the header element. In this H1, you have to place inside a header element. It is in a tell something about the content. You have to user and machine can readable way in this way. Okay. And second thing, also navigation, you have to print it, right? You can go to one page to another page. You have to write a navigation links inside navigation, nav element inside place as the navigation. Okay. Anchor one page to another page. You can navigate from one page to another page. Which tag you have to use? Anchor tag, right? Anchor tag. This is the anchor tag. Click. This is the home page. You have to write it. Okay. In this one, in this open tag, you have to write a one attribute, right? Which attribute? By using href attribute, you have to use in this i.html page. You have to go. How to go? This is i.html is it is in a file. This is on a one file. This both files are placed inside which folder? Workspace HTML, right? Now you have to go to this file. How to go? Some path is required, right? Here the two files are present in the same folder. So you can mention like a dot for the current folder and slash. Okay. Now you can path is i.html. Here one more you have to introduce. You can some new folder. Inside you have write a i.html. Okay. In this i.html, whatever the content is, that is paste inside this i.html. Now it is deleted. Here see. This is your html5.html element, right? Now you navigate from this is the home. For example, you have to take it home page. Now we have to go to open with live server. Okay, this is the home. You have to navigate from which page? This page, right? This page you want to be visible in the browser. How to go in this i.html file? Here you have something hash you have to print. Control S. Click on home. See the hash you have to print in this way. Okay. Now you have go to navigate from this page. Which page? In this page you have to print it. In the directly you can go the navigation this page. How to go? First, where it is file it is. Where it is in the file. And the new is a new folder inside i.html, right? You have to go to this path. Now you are here in the html5.html file. html5.html in this file you have place. How to go? Here current folder you have to mention. This is the dot notation. Now we have to go to this folder, right? New inside the i.html. Now we are here html5.html new. These are in the current folder. Now you can go to in this new.i.html file, right? Now you can go another dot. Okay. Now you can go the new folder. Wait. Okay. Understand this one path? HTML5. Here explain how to go path. This is the folder. Inside i.html and HTML, for example, index.html. You have to take. How to now you can go to i.html, you have to print it, right? The path will be now you can get the path. How you can get the path? Here, based on index.html5, you can navigate to i.html. First, the path is required, right? i.html, where it is. Okay, in this folder one, these are both are in the two files in the placed inside a folder one. Now here in the index.html, we have navigate to i.html, but you can go to i.html. That path is required, right? How to get the path? Here, see, here anchor link is there. Okay, something click. In this anchored link, one attribute is required, right? You have to navigate from one page to another page. One attribute is what? href. Now, you can, in this place, it is in a path. How to get the path? i.html. These two files are placed in the folder one. These are in the current folder. So current folder represent dot notation. Okay. Dot notation. Okay. So path i.html. Okay. Now in this folder one, here folder one. In this folder one, folder two, inside i.html. The folder one is index.html. Okay. Now i.html, which is placed folder 2 placed, right? Here folder 1, which is one index.html place. Now we have to navigate from this page, right? How to get this path? i.html means, see, you can observe. Now index.html file and new, these are in the current folder for the workspace, right? Understood? HTML5 HTML element, this is the file, this is the folder. This file and folder present in the workspace HTML folder. Okay. This folder 2 and index.html file present in the folder 1. Okay. This HTML5 and new, these are present in the workspace HTML. Okay. The path is what? Both are in the current folder, right? Anchor href equal to this folder 2 and index.html. Now you can go to the this path you can require, right? How to get this path? Here index.html, folder 2, both are in the folder 1. So current folder means dot slash. Now you can go to which one? Folder 2. In the folder 2 you can give path. Okay. Here I am writing. Here current folder means this one, right? This HTML file. Now you can get this path. Now you can get this path i.html. How do you go? In this HTML5.html new, these are in the current folder. Now you have to path dot slash. Now you can go to where now? This new.html, right? In this new.html inside the i.html. Okay. Now you can get the path of the i.html. Now you can print. Go to home page. Now click on it. Navigation. You have to navigate from one page to another page. Okay. Okay. You have to navigation links are printed in this navigation tag. Okay. Now you can design it. Just I'm explain elements. Further, you have to design the web page. Okay. Now we can tell something about the elements. First of all, you have to know the elements, right? Then after we can design a web page. Okay. Next one is what? Articles. Article tags means it is represented as an independent piece of a content, right? It is in a block of a news articles you have to print. In this article, what you write? For example, H2, some news article you have to print. Okay. News article, how to print this one? Fine. NDTV. See, you can observe it. This is the header part. This one. This is the navigation bar. Okay, navigation element, you have to insert this navigation elements. Okay. Next one is what? You can see, observe this application. This one you have to section, you have to print it. Okay. This is the image one. This is the sections tag. You have to write this content. Okay. This is the aside from the news. News can advertisement you have to print, right? Observe it. This uijavakit.com. See, this is the header part. This is the header part, right? And you can give the navigation link aside from this navigation links. You have to place navigation is aside part. Okay. This is the main part of this all icons, right? This is the main part. This is the aside. The news, the advertisement, you have to print the aside part of the content, right? Element. Okay. This is the footer section. Okay. You have to print the navigation links and copyrights you have to write in the footer section. Okay. Using this some semantic elements, you have to write this all type of elements to create in a web pages. Article section, you have to write a articles from the news, anyone, you have to that elements present in the article section, article element. Okay. Now you can write a sections. Section what you print, you have to slightly split into the sections. Like you can observe. See, this is the one, the section part. Okay. This is header part is there, footer part is there, this the image is there. This type of structure you have to place inside the section. Section, right? Section element placed inside this content. Okay. Slightly split into the section of the web page. Okay. This is all type of content right inside the section element. Articles you have to write. You can news can print it. The article element you have to use it. Okay. And next one is what? Something you have to write inside content. Okay. And our services you have to write. Okay. Next one you have to print aside. Aside you have to know, right? Aside element. What printed in the aside? Okay. It is in a aside element content that indirectly related to surrounding the content such as the sidebars. Okay. What you print in the aside element, what you write in this aside element means latest news. That type of elements you have to write in the aside element. Okay. Next footer section, what you write? Copyrights in this para. And navigation links, this type of all are right in the footer section. Okay. It is tells something about the element, HTML5 elements. Okay. You have to write some content placed inside this header, footer, article, HTML5 elements. You have to tell something about the content that user and machine can readable way. Okay. And also search engine friendly. Okay. Now we have to introduce some input elements and mark tag mark. You have to write note H1 my web. Something you have to mark of this, some content, write a mark tab. Okay, now you have to mark it. Mark tag. Insert placed. See, that is highlighted from the test. Okay, that mark tag is inside. You have to write a content. In the browser, you have to highlight it for the test. Okay, some input elements have to some attribute design introducing the HTML5 some types attributes, right? What is the type attribute? You know, input elements you have to introduce. One thing here, some missing. And what is a figure and figure caption? Okay, you have to print the image in the browser. Figure. Some image is required, right? You have to display in the image in browser. Which tag you have to use? Image tag you have to use. Okay. In this image tag, one attribute is there, source attribute. Now you can give the file image path. Image path is not there in this HTML file, right? Now you can download some small images. Now you can download. Here, right click on it. Right click on it. Same image or copy image. Save image as. Way to save that image. You have to work in workspace HTML, right? And the new. You have to save this file. Okay. Something slow. You have to save it. Now we can go to your file. You have to save in this workspace HTML in this image, right? Now you can this image you are displaying in the browser. How? Which tag you have to use it? Image tag, right? In this image tag, you have to one attribute is in a source attribute. In the source attribute, you have to write. Now you can give the path of the image. Okay. How to give path? This HTML5.html and flower.web app. This both are in the current folder, right? In the current folder, you have to path is dot slash flower.web. Okay. Now you can print it. See, that is visible in the browser image, right? Now you can give the name. Figure caption means the figure main, what is the main use? Images, drawings, and illustration with a optional caption, right? And figure caption also you have to write it tells something about the image, the figure caption element. Okay, big caption. Okay, a beautiful flower. You can see this is the one, right? Now the tells something about the image, the figure caption, which is inside placed a figure. Okay, the figure caption element where to place inside placed inside the figure caption figure element. Okay, it is tells something about the image, the figure caption. Okay, now we can some input elements. So HTML5 also you can introduce input elements. Input elements type attributes. Type attributes. Okay, what you know? Type equal to you have to know type is equal to text. Type equal to password. And type equal to radio. And type equal to checkbox. You have to know, right? Here some HTML files, some introduced about some type attributes. New features are type equal to mail, type equal to number, and type equal to search, and type equal to date, and type equal to type equal to color, and type equal to range, type equal to URL. Okay, and type equal to telephone number. Here you have to introduce some more features, and also you have to introduce and the input attributes, and the input attributes introduce some attribute as an autofocus, yeah, placeholder, yeah, HTML5 introduce about the attributes in input tags. The attributes are some placeholders. Placeholders, holder, and required, and autofocus, and autocomplete, and minimum and maximum. Minimum maximum, this is a minimum maximum values for number, range, date, like this, some etc. And pattern. Okay, validate, required read only, disabled, and multiple. List, maximum length and minimum length. form axioms, form validate, form no validate. Okay, how to this type of attributes you have to introduce for the HTML5. Okay, what you know, one by one discussion. Here, these all are attributes. Attribute is in a key and value pair, right? Here, one by one explain placeholders. You have to write one more file input dot HTML input attributes. Here, para you have to take it. It is in a block level element. One by one I have to place. Here, create a test box. Which tag is required? Input, right? Input you have to write in a test. Okay. Input you have to write in a some test, right? Type equal to, by default it is in a test box. Type equal to test. Okay. Now, see, once observe, here this is a text box. What data you have to write in this one, in this input field? No, nothing, right? You have no what you write in inside the text box. Your name, mail, you have no mention, right? Just you have to write a placeholder, one type of attribute. Placeholder. Placeholder, it provide the short hint that describes, okay, the expected value of the input field. Okay. Provides the short of description of the test expected value of the input field. Okay. The user can enter placeholder. What you write? Enter your name. Just see. It is enter the value. It is placed inside the input field. Okay. Understand this placeholder? Just you have to enter your name. Something like that. Okay. You have to know, right, what you write in the text box. Just enter your name. That is in a placeholder. Okay. Provides a short hint that describes the expected value of the input field. Okay. Next one is what? Required. Here, in this field, some input you have to what? Something you have to name. Enter your name. Next one is what? Required. That is a single attribute required. What is the main use the required attribute means? It is the input field must be filled out before submitting the form. You have to submit the form, right? For example, you have to submit the form. Button, input, by default test, right? Type equal to submit. And value equal to submit. What is the value means? Wait. Submit. Here input tag type is equal to submit. It is an attribute. That is a value which is an attribute in the input field. There is a value means it is directly displayed in the input field. Okay. Open with live server. Just you have to say. You have to submit. This is the value. It is displayed in the browser. Directly you can give a value. Now you can see the here you can write example something h1. Some you have to write a test in the h1 that is display in the browser, right? The content display in the browser. The input field. The input field, first of all, you have display in the browser. This is the content. It is display in the browser. Now you have to write input tag. Input. Here type equal to test, right? Type equal to test. Here just you have to observe, click. Here you enter some value, right? There's a name, you have to enter something, anyone. You have to write this value. This is the value attribute. Okay. Now by default in the refresh there is a no test. Now you can display the some test in the input field. How do you know? This one type of attribute is in a value attribute. Okay, you can give some name. For example, HTML, you can give a name. This is display in the input field. By default you can give any a value. Okay, this is the this is the content. Now you can display by default, display in the input field. Yes, you can save it. See, by default you can give any a value. Okay, for the input field. Understood? You can, the default value you can remove it. You have to new value, you have to place it. By default you can write it that this is this value assigned for this value attribute. Okay. Understood? And this is a required. Whenever you submit in the field, see, you can, whenever in the JavaScript you have to write it, you have to submit the form, right? Must be fill in this input field. That is required attribute. Okay. Before submission, you have to enter some value, right? Here some enter value, here some enter value. Okay, you can submit it. The data will be placed stored in a database. You have not enter this value. This input field, one value is required, right? Before submission, okay. Before submission, it is not submitted the data from the database. Okay, must be fill it. It is required. Okay. Based on that, you have to use a required attribute. Understand? Before submission the data, you have to enter some value each and every field, right? Name, email, anything, password. You have to submit it. The data store in the browser, I mean database. And again, you have to not enter any value. Before submission, you have to submit. It is not submitted the data from the database because this input field must be filled. Then only you can submit. You have to not enter any value. There is no submit. The type of you are write in a required attribute. You have to mention that particular input field. What is the required attributes? Which elements have to required must be. You have to enter data. Okay, some elements are not enter required field. Okay, must be fill in the input field. You have to required attribute mentioned. You have not mentioned. You have to not write. Okay. Next one is autofocus. Enter your name. Just remove it. Autofocus. Autofocus means automatically focus on the input field when the page loads. Okay. Whenever you have to page loads, the input field must be autofocused. See. See, this is the autofocus field. Before loading, sure. Okay, I'm loading. For the first time load, the input field must be focused. Based on that, automatically focus on it, right? Input field. When the web page loads, the input field is automatically focused. Based on that, you have to use in a autofocus attribute. Okay. Understand? The remaining things we have to discuss tomorrow. Any doubts in this session? The remaining things we have to discuss tomorrow. Okay. These are all attributes. What is required? What is this one? Okay. Any doubts in this session? Okay, bye guys. Tomorrow we'll discuss on the remaining attributes. These are all attributes. Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you for the join. అర్థమైంది కదా?